Oh, that's right. It's time. Who wants to explain the pre-order mafia? What the hell is the pre-order mafia?
Yeah, so we have all decided that there is a lot of noise happening, and we should clarify with that noise what you should be spending your money on. Pre-order mafia is here to save the day, and you will start to see more of pre-order mafia as we move forward in more ways than just video. But it is our 3-tier rating system, spearheaded by Mr. Storm, because he's always thunderous, he's magical, he strikes like lightning, and he's sexier than pisses me off sometimes. Anyways, it's a made figure, made man in plastic. This figure earns his buttons. It's a forget about it. It's got some charm, but don't break your back for it. Meaning, like, you probably shouldn't worry about it. And hey, if you are worried about getting in it when it's at a forget about it, then you should check out FOMO Treatment Center in case you're worried about missing out. And then number 3 needs to sleep with the fishes. This one's getting whacked straight to the toy graveyard. So those are
Ollies.
3 tiers, or Ollies to go live on the pegs. And I applaud Mr. Alexander Storm for really spearheading this. I think these are great, and this is something that is a brainchild of Rad, because he was wasting all of his money on a shitload of figures, and then they weren't either getting delivered, or they were getting delivered and they were trash. And so he was like, hey, we got to come in and take this out like Chicago. So Welcome to Pre-Order Mafia.
I can't tell you how many figures I have with cement blocks tied around their ankles and sitting in the bottom of a lake somewhere. So I'm happy we're deciding about this before it gets to that stage, and I don't have to make both financial and criminal choices centered on action figures. And no, I do not need help, but maybe I do. So let's start it up. Pre-order mafia. What do we have, Mr. Storm? Oh, here we go.
We've got the Thunderbolts, which dropped yesterday, May 1st, for pre-order. And you know what? I think we went through this on Toybox Chronicles over here at PPI. That we saw the Daredevil Born Again. I had that in my cart, and after the show, I took it out of the cart. I didn't even want to order it anymore, and I never even ordered the Punisher because the show just turned me off. With the good reflections of what I'm seeing, these characters all look like the main actors, which is really great. I think that these will do pretty good if the movie does well. I think whenever you have a great film and it starts building that buzz, people do want to get items from that. I know Deadpool, Wolverine. I have both Deadpool and Wolverine because they were better films. And like I said, again, the Born Again series, it made me actually just cancel my Daredevil order. I was like, I wasn't feeling it. I think the show kind of changed my hype. So really cool characters. For me, I think these are just your made figures right here. I think you have to go out and buy these right now.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I like these ones a lot. I think they're cool.
I like the head sculpts. I agree with you on very similarities to the actual stars of the film, which is really great. I actually think the Sentry character is cool looking, and like his suit. But I'm gonna say, even with the box office and that doing well, it's a forget about it. I think you're gonna be able to obtain these figures at some point in time. They're decent, but I don't think you need to rush to get the pre-orders. It could be wrong, but it's forget about it for me.
Yeah, especially because they do all of them in like the double box. Like, no thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, these are the best characters in the movie, so I don't think that's a mistake that these are the ones they're releasing first. Yeah. And you know, if these don't do good, that's where it's going to stop. But yeah, I think I'm going to have to say forget about it. I don't see people clamoring for these figures, even if the movie is good, just because, again, none of them are like the original Black Widow. It's not Thor. It's not Captain America or Iron Man. So I just don't think people getting these, clamoring for them, and they're going to sell out. I think you'll see these on the shelves.
All right. Well, yeah, it's better than the Captain America figures that are sleeping
Oof.
with fishes right now.
Ooh. Yeah, these are forget about it for me too. I like them, but yeah, I'm with Commander Bly here. Making 2-packs means that they have little faith in these selling. I 1000% agree, because like if you were to look and be like, hey, you want to go half on me with this 2-pack, and then like which figure do you want? Everyone would want the same figure from the 2-pack, so it's kind of pointless. But these whatnot kids will buy all these up and then try to sell them for like hundreds of dollars because they're like, I can't get them.
Mm-hmm.
Commander Bly is ruthless.
Yep.
Still pass at Ollie's.
All right. Well, I guess it's not so much unanimous. We got two, made to forget about it. Nobody put some sleep with the fishes, so the figures are actually pretty good. So kudos to Marvel Legends and Thunderbolts. This crew says, hey, order them now or pick them up later, but you don't have to throw them in the lake.
I think they have to be on the Wakanda Forever level to be sleeping with the fishes.
Yes.
That or Eternals. Or Eternals.
Yes.
Our next setup is another 2-pack, but this was a little bit more of a controversial one. It's kind of like the Punisher and Bushwhacker. We all wanted Punisher. Nobody really wanted Bushwhacker. I'll be honest with you. Bushwhacker is sitting in the storage unit somewhere in the original packaging, and the Punisher's out. So this is one with Madame Masque, if I'm pronouncing it. I think it also goes by a different name as well. And then Crossbones. Crossbones looks fantastic. Madame Masque is like more or less a Iron Man kind of villain, and not really as seen. I think sometimes she's been in AIM and a couple other organizations. But, I think if you're getting this pack, you really want Crossbones. And the 2-packs also cost a little bit more. I don't know if it's worth just buying this just for Crossbones. So for me, I'm gonna put this pack as a forget about it.
I don't know. I think people will probably buy this because Crossbones is so cool. Like I'm looking at this going like, well, would she be worth like $25 just for having that briefcase full of money?
So I think if you're somebody that does camera photography, you would buy this 2-pack, and I'll tell you why. Because it does have a lot of really cool function. Like his guns come with like smoke on them. She has his briefcase with money. So like even if maybe you don't like her, like he's a great figure. And I justify the cost of it being $49.99 on Amazon because from a photography perspective, the accessories are really good with this pack. And it's something we definitely didn't necessarily highlight, but it is pretty good.
This Crossbone's really cool. It's really great. And I get the hostage thing. We were just talking about that, Commander Bly, like before the show. I hate when they do that. It's like most people are going to just chuck this figure, but it's worth the Crossbones. I'm afraid if you don't get it now, what he'll cost you on the secondary market, especially loose. So for me, it's a made figure. It's a cool looking figure.
Yeah. For me, it's a made. Mr. Storm.
Forget about it.
I do want to give an update too, really quick on the Dark Avengers Warbird. She is not in stock anymore on Hasbro.
No, okay.
But she's in stock at Rad's place.
Okay, well then you need to bring that to SoCal Joe show.
And I guess that shows it's a made figure. Like hint, pick up everything Dark Avengers. For what's coming in the MCU. Do it now. It'll be hard to come by.
Most definitely. Well, like I said, it goes to the top. So if you didn't get it, what a difference a couple of hours makes. All right, on to the next one, man.
I can never get these figures. Piss me off.
Okay, well, this is the week of McFarlane week over at GameStop, and look, we're in the toy making now world, and we always know that you get more uses out of something when you make the mold. And this is one of those cases where this is the getting the use out of that horse for the gunslinger. New paint, new situation for Bloodaxe, a GameStop exclusive character from Mr. McFarlane, gold label as well. I didn't buy Gunslinger. I saw this comment online. It was kind of cold blooded and everything, but it's like I'm glad Mattel is taking over the license for Batman. At least I'll get more than 10 figures, just repurposed all year. McFarlane is, again, he's got his pluses. I think he does a great job on vehicles. I don't know if anybody was clamoring or asking for this character. This is a sleep with the fishes for me. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but
I mean, having 4 horsemen, actual horses, this looks like my 4-year-old's Barbie horse. Even worse. Even worse, actually. I'd actually take the Barbie horse and I'd give it to Chet to do toy photography before I ship him this. This is for sure sleeping with the fishes. And you could throw. I'll keep the axe. I'll take the axe. Everything else goes in the water.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a flaming horse with bones and shit. Like, that should be cool as hell. And this just looks kind of dumb. Yeah, definitely with those fishes. This might be on a Wakanda Forever level, because
this is how you do a flaming horse.
Yeah.
So Todd needs to go visit. This is how you do a flaming horse. Yeah. Just don't waste your money.
They also did a skeleton horse too, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this definitely needs to be swimming with the fishes. There's no point in buying this. It's not going to do anything. There's zero articulation, it looks like. No one cares. No one wants it. Next.
And if you were watching Toybox Chronicles, which is on every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we went over this, but we thought that we'd make it down to the list just in case you were on the fence about any of these, McFarlane GameStop exclusive, GameStop week is figures. Now, a couple of good ones. I know that I think the director and Chet actually have a little bit of a. I think he said he was going to look for the Cyborg Superman for you, right?
Yeah.
That's a good figure. Yeah. That's a great figure.
Yeah, that's really great. Look, I love Cyborg Superman, and I love that Jade figure. Those are two that I think he did really well. And for sure. I even kind of like the Red Hood one, but I mean that, at the end of the day, if you stare at it long enough at the picture, you realize you don't need to buy it. Yeah. But that Superman and that Jade figure are great.
Yeah, I think there were two. I think the Frozen characters and the game. Well, it kind of was odd that he just threw the Game of Thrones character in there. And that one, from all the other, it just seemed like it was out of place.
That's the only one that makes sense. As it's like the Ice King, and he's made of ice, right?
Well, yeah. Does it come with different hands? Because
no, this is it.
Yeah.
Because if I'm gonna get the the Night King with that? What is his name? I forget. It's been so long.
Yeah, Night King, I think.
I want to see him with the pose where he's looking at Jon Snow with his hands out, like, what's up? And he's raising the dead. I don't want this closed fist with this hockey stick. Give me the pose that's iconic for this character.
Well, he did
have Arya about to jump on his back.
Yeah, he, again, pluses or not, I think he's trying to get out this last wave of the DC stuff because that contract is ending. And the Super Friends Riddler, that's nice. Again, I think some of these characters, I think he did a really good job on servicing certain characters from DC. I thought the superpower line that he did is extremely needed. It's a very entry level where young kids and new collectors can get in and get a bunch of figures that are retro like, but you don't mind if you're actually giving that out to play with. So I think he's done some good jobs, but yeah, I don't know, just like the horse in front of it, I don't know what he's going to do when he just has spawned Mortal Kombat and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I think he keeps constantly pushing Spawn and I just don't think it sits in fandom as high as he believes it. So we're gonna have to see, man. But all these figures for me, it's it's in between. Sleeping with the Fishes, a couple of guys that I say the frozen ones, and then there's a couple of them that are like forget about it. And I know Mr. Maddox has like two made men characters. So some of these are really good, some of these are so, man.
I love
I
the
would say-
Cyborg one.
I like Riddler. That looks just like the Super Friends character.
Yeah.
I think that's cool.
Hmm.
And apparently he was on the phone with like his supplier, and they said, well, we got a shit ton of clear and light blue pellets. What do you want to do? Well, let's make some Frostbite characters.
Mm-hmm. That's what he did with like the patina ones and some of the other ones, just reused molds and call it special edition, black light, all this stuff. So
yeah, well, I think he missed out on his chance for Batman Spawn since he lost the DC license.
Well, he actually did do those figures earlier last year. So he actually did put those figures out in a 2-pack as well. We've got one that is everyone's excitement of late. We were at Toy Atlanta. We saw these incredibly gifted toy company and sculptors that were there. Fantastic. The Four Horsemen Studios Legion Con exclusive. They dropped these photos out, and wow! Like, first of all, to do figures and great photography right next to it, they just know what they're doing. But 4 characters from the Tales from the Crossroad. All the characters come with equally a bunch of accessories. They all have great definitions and scopes and everything. These for me, whenever I see anything from the Four Horsemen as of late, they are all made men for me, man.
Yeah, I think what's good about that is that they're not sold in 2-packs.
Yes.
So
well, they're priced like they are. Now that's the one thing. It's a little expensive. They're all beautiful, and I would definitely get the knight and the skeleton one.
Well,
but
this is where I'm gonna give you a pushback on, because I do have I think all 3 of us on this panel have the ETL 25 character. That was one of the best sculpted characters that I've seen from any company in a fairly long time, and it's extremely heavy figure for it to be sculpted, so there's a weight to it. The price range on them, I know, anywhere between the mid 60s to the mid 70s. I think that they're worth it. Now, would I collect an entire line of them? No, I probably would. Budgetary wise, I watch it, but are they worth it when it comes to the accessories? Like, you've got both Rad and Chet here that just got the latest Four Horsemen. You can see the both great video on our shorts up there right now for one of them on unboxing. That character came with more accessories than I've seen, like 3 or 4 Hasbro characters. So that's where I get the pushback. If you're giving me more items and more accessories and more things with it, at least it seems like it's worth it for me,
Well, I'm not saying it's not worth it. It's just out of my price range.
I think so. Here's an example of a studio that actually does repurposing of different molds and sculpts to create a different figure. So a lot of these figures here reuse parts from other figures. I mean, if you own various waves of Mythic Legions, you can tell where these were pieced together, but the paint jobs are different. Accessories are different. Characters look a bit different, like, modified a bit to make it special, unique. Legion Con usually comes with a shitload of more accessories than if you wait later in the year to get these. And so look, yeah, sure, I've seen that, that accessory before, or I see that body before, but I love the effort putting into these things and the story behind it and the lore. I'm a fan. I would order it, man. Like, just they do such a great job, and it's the opposite of McFarlane. It's just like, let's just ice this character and ship it.
Well, yeah, and
a bit different.
These characters are all very monochromatically painted, but it's not just one color. Yeah. It's actually like color theory, and they thought about how this is all going to look and wash and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean that it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
But that's the difference between, essentially they're black and white, but there's a lot more to it than that.
Yep. Beautiful figures. And for me, it's they're made figures. Expensive, but made figures.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, that was the Pre-Order Mafia. Forget about it.